This is TWiT.
Mitch, Burbank, California. You're next. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
I love you, Leo Laporte.
Oh, my gosh. A little man love. I love you back.
Thank you so much. I do voiceover work here in L.A., and I built a home
I thought you might.
I'm very happy with this studio.
It's like the voice of God just said he loved me. I love you, Leo Laporte.
This whole thing.
What do you do? Do you anything we would know? Like movies? Do you do movies? You sound like you might do movies.
I'm actually the voice of Ford Motor Company National that are running spots all over the country.
Oh, let me hear it just a little bit.
It's the Ford Summer Spectacular Sales Event.
Oh, I love it.
I'm also on a bunch of video games, actually. I played Leg Atlantis on Fallout New Vegas.
Oh, I love that game.
Yeah, he's the main bad guy you got to kill at the end.
Oh, that's great. Now, do you change it around a little bit? I mean, you don't want the Ford guy to be being a bad guy in Fallout Las Vegas.
No, each role, because when you're doing commercial work, you're just an announcer.
It's an
basically.
actor. You're an actor, yeah.
And when you're doing the video games, you really have to be an actor.
Yeah.
Because there's so much going on in those games. But no, everything requires something different with video games.
That's a great gig though. What fun, huh?
Guild Wars 2. I play Everhart. I'm Ironclad on The Incredible Hulk. I play the Ice God on Thor. I was the Swordsman in the Path of Neo, Matrix. I'm on a bunch of different video games. I do all kinds of stuff.
Fun. How does that work? Do you go in and they give you a script of a lot of just short little things and you just read them?
Yeah, with the video games, you go in and you're handed what looks like about a 1-inch thick pamphlet, and it's got probably 15 or 20 lines on each page. And so you just go down one at a time, and the booth director will say, okay, now he's nervous, but he's not afraid.
Mitch, we're going to have to pause for a word from our sponsors, but if you'll hang on, we'll be right back. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. We're talking to one of the darkest voices in the business, Mitch in Burbank. Hi, Mitch.
Thanks for taking the call. Yeah.
We'll get to Johnny Jet in just a little bit. So you're a voiceover guy. Do you do work out of your home?
Yeah, pretty much exclusively from my house.
Isn't that not? You have an ISDN line, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. When I moved out here, I used to be in Miami radio for years, and when I moved out here, I brought a wife, kids, a dog, just with the profits from the sale of the house.
Isn't that nice?
And I was voicing different radio stations around the country, so the ISDN line was the only way I could make money. The second I got into town.
Right.
Now, I'm using it every single day.
Because you don't have to go to you'd have to go to a studio, get up, put on clothes, get in a car, drive to a studio. Now you just wear your jammies to your office. You got the mic set up.
I wouldn't say that because, in order to be a professional, you have to feel like one. So if I was sitting up there in my pajamas, it just wouldn't feel right. So I get up, I take a shower, I get dressed.
Yeah.
Just as if I'm going to a studio.
I used to do this show from my house, and I found it was terrible because I would no energy because I just got up, and so we actually rented a office so that I would actually feel like I was going to work. It does. It affects human psychology. Yeah, a home gym. That's good.
You either work out too much or too little.
Yeah. I'm on the too little side on that one.
It's funny with ISDN back in 2001, right after 9/11, they had me voice the Miss America pageant that was going on in New York.
Yeah,
and they didn't want to fly people out because obviously the scare. So I sat in my studio in Burbank with Mix Minus on ISDN, voicing the Miss America pageant live to the world. It was pretty bizarre.
That is amazing. What the technology? So what can I do to help?
Well, listen, like I said, my studio I love it. I'm very happy with it. The only chink in the armor is I'm running a 2004 G5.
Oh, it's time to update that.
Well, over the years, I've replaced the hard drive and video card and the optical drive, and it works really well. The only problem I have with it is fan noise.
Well, yeah.
It's embarrassing, when you're in the middle of a session. Goes, did you just turn a fan on? And I'm like, hold on, let me turn off my email. So I'm looking at the Mac Pro in that it has almost no fan.
It's silent. It does have a fan. I have one. It has a big fan. Bigger is better on fan noise. The larger the fan, the slower it can rotate to move the same amount of air. And it's designed as a column to draw the fan draws air in from the bottom. It goes up through the column and comes out the top. And it is, I can vouch for it, very quiet. But I'm also sitting next to an iMac right now, one of the late model iMacs, and I don't think you hear that either.
Yeah, that's the question. I'm really, other than normal computing where you're going online and checking your email, I'm really just running Digital Performer, and all I'm doing is ever recording is a mono signal converting to.
So you don't need a lot of horsepower. You could probably even use a Mac Mini, which I don't think has a fan at all. Does a Mac Mini have a fan, chat room? I don't think it has a fan at all. Really? And so the Mac Pro you have is known to be noisy. It also has another disadvantage. There's something you can't upgrade, the G5 processor. And Apple's moved away from these PowerPC processors to Intel. So you can't put the newest operating systems on your computer. And I think that's something else that...
The only upside is that I'm virtually invisible online.
Oh, yeah. You don't have to worry about
hacking a G5.
Nobody's going to hack a G5. You're absolutely right.
No, it's not really. So do you think I'd be, on a money level? I mean, I can spend...
Get an iMac. It's all you need. Because remember, once you buy the Mac Pro for $3,000, you still have to buy a monitor for another $1,000. So that's a very pricey purchase, whereas a $1,299 iMac, or if you want to get a bigger screen, a $1,500 iMac, is going to be, I don't even know if this has fans. It's very quiet. Certainly,
I was reading online that there is some fan noise with the iMac, and I don't mind some. I mean, compared to what I'm going through right now,
Let's listen. I have my iMac here. I'm listening. I don't. Yeah, I guess there would be. How close is the computer to your microphone?
Right now, I sit at the desk looking at the computer, and the tower is just to the left of me on the floor. I know that's an option, is to get an extension and putting it in another room.
Yeah, you could do that.
It's time, though. It's time. I feel like I'm like a dinosaur with this whole thing.
No, I think you should get the new iMac. I think it's more than quiet enough. What you've got is really, really noisy.
Yeah, it really is.
And this will be much faster and much better. I think you'd be better off upgrading. And I don't think you need a Mac Pro. The iMac is as quiet as the Mac Pro. Let's put it that way.
Beautiful. That's all I wanted to hear. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, sir. Have a wonderful day. I once went to a radio convention, a Gavin convention. Remember Gavin? Went to a Gavin convention, a bunch of radio announcers. And all of them talked like this. Hi, how are you? I'm great. I'm working at Q94 now. Oh, that's great. I'm working at the big one. Oh, that's wonderful. Good to hear you. It's like they were showing off. Hi, I'm Leo Laporte. I can't say what I want to say.
What did all the girls sound like?
They all sound like this.
They were breathier.
I'm Dusty Rhodes, the Dark Knight Angel, holding down the fort at 3 a.m. I don't know why. I don't know why we have to sound like that. For years, I fought off this announcery thing that happens to you because you don't sound normal. And you put a microphone and headphones on me, I'm going to start talking like this. There's nothing I can do about it. Hey, a beautiful Saturday afternoon to you. 56 degrees in the city. More of Kenny G coming up right after this. I can't help it.
There was an afternoon guy that always said the weather was going to be delightful.
Delightful.
And I was like, I don't think I ever hear anyone use delightful, normally in a sentence to describe anything. But this guy, every day, in a word, delightful.
In a world where the sun don't shine.